Yeah, I'm here tonight in Branchville, Indiana at the Branchville Correctional Institute. I'm here with a friend of mine, Harvey Jett from Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah, the band, that is.
The band and not the town.
Right.
Okay, because there is a Black Oak, Arkansas.
That's right, yes, it exactly is.
We're here. We're getting ready to have a Harvey Jett concert with a special guest, 53.5. But we're going to be doing some rock and rolling for about 200 or so inmates here just in a little bit. And Harvey, can you just tell us a little bit about how'd you get connected with Black Oak? Because Black Oak was, I mean, they were a mega band back in the 70s, in the early 70s. I mean, with Jim Dandy as probably the number one hit song. How'd you get connected with them?
Well, we all kind of grew up in the same area, in the northeast Arkansas area, and we knew each other before Black Oak. And, I got a chance to audition for the guys when I was like 17, and, they liked what they heard, and I liked what I heard, and so we went on down the road for about 1,000,000 miles,
So that's the history of it. And then what happened during that time you was with them as far as rising to fame? I mean, they got really big.
Yeah, we had a good time with the couple of guys in the Iron Butterfly, Mike Panera and Lee Dorman. They were doing a farewell tour with Iron Butterfly in '71, and they also produced our first album there with Atlantic Records. And so we were their opening act during a 50-city tour there, and we had a great time. And they were kind of on their way out. And these guys, their style of music was, it wasn't Southern rock, and some people were looking for something different. And they were a great bunch of guys, but they were kind of doing their farewell thing. They just kind of, was tired of it and were going to do something else. And we were kind of young and crazy, and we just come on there and just had a good time. And I think the crowd saw the energy that we had and the excitement, being new and fresh, something a little bit different. It was a country sound with a little bit of a southern rock to it, blues rock or whatever, and it just turned into Black Oak, Arkansas. And we just, from that 50-city tour, the next tour, we had people like Kiss and Bruce Springsteen opening for us, and Skinner, and on and on and on. And got to meet a lot of these guys. Become friends with a lot of them, and some great musicians out there. But after about 6 or 7 years, I pretty well started hearing a different drum, and I started hearing things that I'm not talking about musically, I'm talking about spiritually, and it pulled me away from the guys, and so that's where I'm at now.
So that's where, when God was speaking to you, I mean, you had been going through probably the same thing that all rock and roll groups did. I mean, a lot of probably just the situation of probably what we would call sex, drugs, rock and roll, just a lot of the problems that affected country and rock groups. But that just kind of affected your life to the point to where it gave you a listening ear to hear the things of God calling you to?
Well, yeah, it got to the place, I guess you might say, where once you have everything the world has to offer, money, fame, and fortune, if that doesn't satisfy you, which it won't, a lot of the people out there, the musicians, entertainers that are successful, if they don't have the Lord in their life, if they don't have God in their life, they can smile when the camera's on, but I know for a fact that behind the scenes, these people are just like me and you, and they need that fulfillment from God. That's the only place you can get that fulfillment of peace is from God. And because He created us for His fellowship, and there's nothing else will fill that gap except God.
Yeah, and I saw a video, Harvey, of Black Oak playing in front of massive crowds, probably 350, and some even reports say 400,000 people were at that concert. So that's a contrast of difference in what you're living today compared to being on the stage back then. But so what you gave up when you left Black Oak, was it 1974, I believe?
74, that's right. Yeah, we finished a 30-day tour in Europe, and that was my last 30 days, and we were the opening act for Ozzy Osbourne, and that's when he was still with Black Sabbath. And that was my last 30 days, and June the 1st, 1974, and I drove out the gates, and didn't know for sure what I was going to do for a living. Music was all I knew, but I knew that God was telling me to go and tell His story, tell my story, what He had done for me, and that's what we're doing tonight at the prison. So I've been in prisons in 8 states, playing and singing, and it's I mean, it's just a great thing to be able to go into a prison. These guys, a lot of them are just really, they've lost everything. They're hopeless. They have nowhere to turn to. They are empty. They're just desperate. And, you know, you got to think about what Jesus said. He said, I was in prison and you came to visit me. Well, it's kind of like we're going to visit Jesus here tonight.
That's right.
You know, we're not doing it for credit. We're doing it because these guys really need something. You know, they need the Lord. And they, you know, we're going to give them a little entertainment. We're going to have some fun. And then we're going to talk about the things of God.
That's right. That sounds great, Harvey. I'm looking forward to hearing you play tonight and just seeing the response of the men. We should have a couple hundred men in here from what they tell us.
That's great.
And the crowd could have even been more, but they you know, did something here where we're only going to have a little over a couple hundred. But it's going to be a great concert, and we're going to rock Branchville Correctional Institute tonight, January the 30th, on a Sunday evening.
Well, the ones that didn't make it tonight, they're going to hear about it, and they'll come next time.
That's right. Yeah,
we're going to have fun.
That's right. We are. All right, Harvey. Well, thanks very much for taking a couple minutes here before the concert, and so let's get ready for that concert.
Thank you, Barry. God bless.
Uh-huh.